everyone. Welcome back to the Reality Club. Alicia and Lauren here. And we're back to recap episode 9 of the Traitors USA.
Yes. Two more episodes left.
2 more plus the reunion.
Yes.
Because I think the reunion and the finale air the same night.
Yes. I'm excited for that because I feel like, kind of, again, looking online, I think we all know Rob wins.
I have never been more convinced after an episode that Rob wins than I was
think
last night.
this episode or last night's episode really confirmed that for a few reasons that we'll get into. But yeah, this was our first episode without any housewives. Without
Rob the housewife slayer.
Rob the housewife
is what I keep
hunter.
Seeing. Oh yeah, sorry.
And honestly, I missed them. Like, while I said to you that when Colton left, we'd get to see more personalities, and that would be really entertaining. But I fear, like, I'm happy Colton left because finally screen time for everyone else. But I feel like Lisa and Candace leaving, it was kind of a boring episode.
It was.
Like, lots happened, but it kind of, I think it just annoyed me a little bit because we'll get into it, but the faithfuls this episode, most of them were just on my nerves.
The faithfuls are sucking. I think it's like pretty clear now. At first I was like, is Rob a good traitor? And now I'm like, no, I think the faithfuls are just actually awful right now.
I think there's a good mix of Rob. I don't think Rob's a bad traitor. I think he's a good traitor. I would be interested to see him on a different season, to see how far he makes it.
Well, people are saying they're like, Rob wouldn't have lasted 2 episodes on the last season.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. But the faithfuls, this season, they're just, it's hard to say, oh, you're bad, because I've never been in the house. I don't know what it's like to have no information.
Yeah.
But some of the logic that they had this episode made absolutely no sense to me, but we'll get into it a little bit more.
I think this episode was a perfect example of how if it weren't for the traitors wouldn't have been sent home.
Yeah.
Because not one single faithful has been correct about anything. It has literally been the help of the traitors why they've like sent the right people home.
I know.
Let me get my notes too.
But anyway, this episode confirmed to me that Rob won, but also I saw something online this week that I think I told you about, but I saw an Instagram page talking about the amount of times that Rob is on our screen, and I thought that it was very interesting because everybody loves Rob. Obviously, everyone is mesmerized by Pretty Rob. Like, everyone on the internet loves Rob. Everyone in the house, Rob can't make a mistake.
No.
Rob is the king of the castle.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, like, why do we love Rob so much? Like, he seems like okay, right?
He seems like an average guy.
But it's because he's been on our screens more than any other person. And for a while, I was kind of hoping that the faithfuls would come back and take out the traitors because of all the drama they've put on each other the past few episodes. Yep. And I was like, I don't have any faithfuls that I'm rooting for. And I was trying to figure out why I felt that way. And it's because we haven't seen any of them. We don't care about any of the faithfuls because they don't show us anything about them.
Honestly, the faithfuls aren't playing a good enough game for me to even be rooting for them right now.
No, but the point is like production has showed us, I think the number that she said, I think her name was Reality Scholar, that's the Instagram page. She said that Rob has had 67 interviews. So you know those little like ITM sections while he's talking to us as a viewer? He's had 67 of those shown to us. Whereas Faithfuls, in comparison, the top number was like 16 by Maura. So I'm like, no wonder we all care about...
And out of all faithfuls, Maura, the most, I hate to say it, but the most irrelevant one right now. Like, I don't think she's actually brought an opinion to the table once.
No, she's actually...
But she's cute. We love her.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, the point is, it's like production is showing us a lot of Rob, which has to mean that he wins because they want us to care about him. They want us to care about Rob because he wins. If the
wonder,
faithfuls,
though, in comparison to other seasons, I'm assuming Traitors do have a bit more screen time.
not as much though.
No.
Well, last season they were saying that Dylan was the one with the most interviews, and Dylan won, right? Dylan
True.
was a faithful, so production is going to edit it the way they want us to feel,
Yep.
right? They want us to care about Rob's story. They want us to care about Rob as a character because he's going to win, and they want us to like the winner. Whereas, like, if Faithfuls were going to win this season, there'd probably be a bigger storyline about the Faithfuls, but there isn't. So that's convinced me. That's convinced me, even though I've already, by this episode, think Rob is going to win.
I just wish it wasn't so obvious. Because I feel like we've been calling this from the beginning. Like, we've been pretty Team Traitor for a while.
Yeah, like, I've always been Team Traitor. Have I been on the team of all the traitors all the time? I've swayed a little sometimes. I've swayed a little. But overall, I've always wanted the traitors to succeed this season over the faithfuls. Yeah. And I think there's a reason for that.
I think so too. And I mean, I've never seen a season where the traitors have won.
You need to watch season 1.
Yeah. So it also would be nice for a little change to
also,
see that.
I just watched, me and Ben, we started watching, I think it was Celebrity Traitors UK.
Oh, I've seen that the UK one gets rowdy.
I only watched I think we watched 4 episodes because we started watching.
Of season 1 or the newest season that came out?
I don't know. I think it might have been because they don't always have Celebrity Traitor. They have regular people in their traitors. Yeah. Whereas we were watching Celebrity Traitor, so it was like, celebrities from the UK on that season. It was also interesting. They
Wait, was this the one that the other guy from Love Island was on? Rob's buddy.
No, because he wasn't a celebrity before he went on Traitors. That's how he got on Love Island.
Oh,
Aaron,
Traitors
I think his name was
Aaron. Yes, Aaron. So Traitors was before Love Island.
Yeah, he did Traitors first as just like normal folk, and then he, I guess, was liked on Traitors and then went to Love Island. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not fully immersed in the UK
I'm not
reality.
Sure what that timeline is.
But what the point of the story is. I watched like 4 episodes because it was on our like cable that we have. I don't know if it was cable. We have some streaming box, but nowadays that's cable. Anyway, it was on, so we started watching, and it was like 3 to 4 episodes before the finale. So it was like pretty late in the season that we started watching, like where we are right now in the US. And it's so different. I'm so excited to go back and like watch a full UK season because I think it's going to be way more entertaining. Like they all, at the round table, they all voted for different people. They were all voting just like based off who they thought. Like there wasn't this like, let's have a consensus and vote everyone off. They were just like, I think you're a traitor, Rob, and would confidently just vote for him, and there was no repercussions of that.
Interesting.
But anyway, the point is, the traitors win in that season 2, and I actually don't know where my point was going with this, but
that's okay.
But anyway, the celebrity version, which I think they should do for the US, because really everyone on the US is a celebrity.
Yeah.
They do
But you said the first couple seasons it wasn't, right? The
first
season?
In US season 1 it was mixed. It was like a mixed bag of like normal folk and reality folk.
And the celebs. Okay.
But I think with the money, again, a lot of people have been talking about this. People don't care as much because they don't care about the money really. Like most people come on the show now for the fame of it. Less like.
You think so? A show like this?
100%.
I can see it being, I mean, you could tell from the challenges, like, people aren't as inclined to win them. Especially this challenge that we saw last night. Like, nobody really cared about the money.
That's what I mean.
That's why it kind of sucked. Or no, sorry, you go.
No.
I don't know where I was going with that.
No, but people aren't as, like, invested really because it's more, like, they're invested to keep being on the show for, like, exposure, but they don't care about the money. But anyway, the point is the UK celebrity season, the winner wins the money for a charity.
Oh, okay, I like that.
And I'm like, why are we not doing that? Like, I'm
surprised they're not.
Like, if it's gonna be these celebrity people, let's do a charity. We don't need to.
Yeah, but like most of the celebrities that are on the Traitors, except for like maybe a couple of the housewives, are pretty like B-list, C-list
Well,
celebrities.
I guess, but
Like, I don't think Rob's really making that much money outside of the show. Maybe
you don't think Rob is pulling in every brand
actually
deal?
he did probably get a lot of brand deals after Love. I actually don't know. I feel like he kind of went ghost for a while after Love Island.
Or did you just not follow him?
I didn't follow him, no. But true. But I don't know. I feel like things like that you see.
Well, no.
Like, usually it just kind of comes up.
I don't
like,
think
especially
so.
in the reality world.
I think a lot of the Love Island people are still very like famous in their own world, but I don't follow anyone from it, and I don't see any of it. But it doesn't mean they're not super successful.
True.
Because like your algorithm picks things for
but
you.
even someone like Colton I feel like Colton's not making that much right now. I don't know.
No, that's why he came on this show.
But like someone like Lisa Rinna, like Lisa Rinna wasn't there for the money. Lisa Rinna's there because she fucking does everything and she'll say yes to anything.
Yeah.
So I respect that. Same with Candace. Like, I don't think she would have, like, I don't think the money was that important to her either.
No. There's nothing that's like making them super invested in the game, if that makes sense. But I feel like you can kind of see the difference between the people who care and don't care. Like, Rob doesn't care about the money, right? Which
he doesn't, but during the challenges, he actually, like, he's one of the people that puts the effort in.
Yeah.
Not last night's, but...
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, let's get into the episode, because I don't even know where we were going with that.
True. Okay,
but,
so, getting right into it, we obviously got the reveal of who Rob picked as his little traitor buddy.
Well, we knew it was Eric. But we
got the reveal of Eric and Rob actually, I guess, talking for the first time.
Yes. So
Eric was acting like some little fangirl. Like, he was just, it is literally like, I don't know how to explain this, but like, it's like the jock of the school just like recruited like the little
captain of the football team.
Like, just recruited like his little nerd friend, and this little nerd friend is just like so excited to be there. He doesn't care what happens, he's just so excited to be there.
He was like, Rob was acting like he has been a faithful for 1,000 years. Like, he was like, come with me, little one. Like, he literally, his confidence was like, he has been a traitor for his entire life.
Yep.
And there was this like fresh meat of
Yep.
It was like he was babysitting.
No, literally. You got the vibe right away that Rob was obviously, Rob's been wearing the pants, but he's definitely wearing the pants in this relationship with the two of them.
I mean, I guess before it was like 3 really strong personalities, right? It was like Candace, Lisa, and Rob.
Yeah.
And so like you knew Rob was like confident and had a strong personality, but like right next to Lisa and Candace, it was like he was the timid one, really. Yeah. But now it was like, that was potentially the funniest thing I've ever seen. I literally wrote, Eric is a baby traitor.
He is. But poor Eric, I feel like Eric just like he's just there to literally, I guess we saw at the end of the episode, like Eric's not making it past next week. I cannot see that.
I was really excited to see Eric as a traitor because he's hilarious. So we got a lot of more like scenes of him and behind the scene interviews, and he's so funny.
Okay, but I knew immediately that Eric was not going to be good at this.
Oh no.
Like,
literally bit. Eric, as we'll talk about through the whole episode, literally looked like he was gonna vomit the entire time. He looked sick to his stomach.
I know.
But it was just, the dynamic between Rob and Eric is hilarious. I think it was a good choice. I think it was a good choice for Rob.
For Rob's game, yes. A part of me did think at the beginning of the episode that he actually, Rob kept saying that they were equals. He said that like 3 or 4 times.
He's like, I see Eric as an equal. And I'm like, did you not see Candace and Lisa as an equal?
Part of me was like, you know what? I believe him. Yeah, for sure. And then as like the episode went on, I'm like, there's no friggin' way that Rob thinks that Eric is going to be making it to the end with him. Absolutely not. And if Eric does, good for him, but like, no. This was just an easy target now for, I guess, the eyes to be kept off Rob one more time.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's gonna work.
I'm glad we got Eric as a traitor just for the, like, to see a little bit more
just for
about
the plot.
him. He literally said that he needed a diaper and a helmet.
No, he's funny. It's funny seeing their dynamic because they're both so different too.
Yeah.
So
yeah. it did make me like Rob grew on me a little bit more this episode again because he is kind of funny. Like
He is funny.
But yeah, him just acting so confident and Eric being so timid. It's a really fun dynamic. I hope Eric doesn't go right away so that we can see a little bit more. But it literally just feels like How to Train Your Traitor.
I love that. No, but yeah, I feel like Rob like wants Eric to think that he has power, but like isn't actually gonna give Eric.
Oh no,
that power.
literally Eric's like, Daddy, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like Rob's like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
son.
Rob's like, don't worry, I got it. This is what's happening.
It's like, do not worry, little one. Follow me.
No,
he like literally fixed his cloak.
I know, that was cute. They're funny. Daddy Rob once again.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like he's adopting him. But anyway, they go into the turret and they have to murder someone. So they recruit and murder someone this episode.
Which I wasn't expecting.
I guess it makes sense though. Like they have to murder someone, but they murdered exactly who I thought they were going to murder, Dorinda. I
had a couple different suspicions, but I think that made the most sense to confuse people the most because it really didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
And I mean, she was kind of just a floater at that point. Like, people knew she wasn't a traitor, so what was the point of keeping her around?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she was never going to be looked at as a traitor, never going to be voted off at the round table.
Yeah.
So I mean, good job, Dorinda. You went from being eliminated first episode last year to episode 9.
Yeah. And it sucks because I feel like we got the most personality out of Dorinda last episode.
I honestly think we got more personality out of Dorinda last season.
In
the first episode. Like
than this whole season.
Than the whole season. But
Fair.
Anyway, Fair. She got her redemption story.
Yeah. I think she was just at that point, she was just happy to be there.
Yeah, it was a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
A girls' weekend in Scotland, but anyway, Dorinda
was happy to be there.
Dorinda goes home. We're at breakfast.
Oh my gosh, we're at breakfast. All I want to say first is that Mark walks in looking like he is coming onto a Peaky Blinders set. The outfit was insane. He looked so good.
Yeah.
So props to Mark.
Also, Mark is, side note, off of the show. He's so funny on social media right now.
Is he?
Yeah, you need to follow him. He is literally so entertaining. He's making fun of himself like every single day on the internet. I'm happy we got to see more of Mark this episode.
Yeah.
Because I actually think he's the smartest traitor. Him and Kristen are really smart. Kristen kind of got on my nerves this episode. But I don't know, I like Mark. I think he's really smart. I think he'll make it pretty much all the way to the end because, as Rob said, Mark's in his back pocket.
Yep. And once again, there's no really suspicion on him. I don't think anyone has once thought he was a traitor either.
No, so anyway, it's Mark, Rob, and Kristen first into breakfast. And they're trying to talk about who they think a traitor is.
Yeah.
And they're on Johnny and Tara, which this is why, yes, Rob is a good traitor, but also the Faithfuls have no logic because they're literally saying Johnny is a traitor because he was best friends with Candace. That is their logic. Their logic is the person that Candace openly was closest to in this house, spent all of her time with, and was very open with her relationship, is also the traitor buddy. That's what the traitors would do. They would just be BFFs with their traitor buddy out in the open.
Yeah.
That's what their logic is. They're like, you were friends with Candace? You're a traitor.
You're a traitor. No, but as you said last time, I think we talked about this, they really have nothing else to go by. So they have to just
But like, why don't you use that logic and reverse it? So you're like, okay, Candace and Johnny were really, really close. So who was Candace not close to?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you... Yes, you have not a lot to go off of, but the logic of, oh my gosh, they're friends, they're traitors together is so hilarious to me.
That's why it was hilarious when people started finding out that Johnny and Tara were best friends and now are like, they must be traitors. They must be an alliance together. And it's like, no, what two traitors would actually be acting like that in the castle together?
I know.
Get real.
I know. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, at breakfast, I'm surprised the most by the fact that we didn't really see anybody talking about Candace voting for Rob. Like,
No.
Candace going after Rob, Candace saying all these things about Rob they are so under Rob's spell that
I don't think that was like, I don't know. I really don't think that's a reason for people to suspect Rob.
people are literally saying, going off of your friends, you voted for someone week 1 8 weeks ago, you must be the traitor. But no one wants to be like, maybe we should consider that the fact that the traitor voted Rob twice, maybe we should think about it. Like, the fact that they're not even thinking about it is wild to me. It's different to be like 100% let's go after him, but not one person's floating around the idea of being like, maybe we should think about it. You are under the Rob spell.
Everyone's under the Rob spell.
Rob is a fairy, and he's...
You said it back yesterday. Pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege.
It usually gets you far in life, in the game, everything.
I'm just jealous of Rob's pretty privilege.
Yeah.
So if I'm hard on him, it's because I want the pretty privilege.
Yeah.
Give me the pretty privilege.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna win the game because of it. So good on him for that.
I will say he did make a smart... Laura did bring it up really briefly at breakfast, being like, I wonder why she went after you, Rob.
Or I thought you were gonna not come in tonight. Or
right.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna die because
I know, when she said that, I was like, out of all people, of course it's Mora. We even kind of said that. We're like, imagine Mora's like the one who takes him down. But I think that literally got brushed off in like 30 seconds.
Well, he made a comment saying, I think that Candace voted for me to protect the other traitors. And I think that was a pretty smart thing to say, I will admit.
He's good with his words. He's good with his words. He's good with his arm. He's good with everything.
But anyway, we get a scene that this is like...
Are we still at breakfast?
Yeah, we're still... I think... Well, we're just... I don't know what else happened at breakfast.
No, I think that was it.
Kristen and Tara have a little bit of a moment, or we see a scene between them, and this like rubbed me the wrong way, because Tara's going up to Kristen and she's like, hey, I trust you so much, and I want to tell you where I'm at, and I want to hear where you're at, because Tara's trying to protect Johnny a little bit, because obviously she knows Johnny's name's getting thrown around right now. So she goes to Kristen because she trusts in Kristen, and Kristen says to her, in my real life, I tend to gravitate to people who are really confident, and so in real life I wouldn't gravitate towards you and surround myself with you because you're really nervous. And I was like, that is so mean.
Yeah, Kristen was not her best this episode.
I was like, what? You won't gravitate to people because they are a little bit nervous? Like,
yeah.
I felt so bad for Tara in that moment. I'm like, she's just being like, I trust you so much. This is what I'm thinking. And Kristen's like, I don't trust you. You have anxiety.
It's just so funny because Tara and Johnny they're just so innocent. They're just there. They're like trying to play the game, but they're not very good at it, and that's fine.
The thing is, I actually think Johnny's really smart. I think Tara is like, I don't know. It's funny because we're saying, oh, Johnny and Tara are really bad at the game, but like, because they're not saying any correct answers, but like, neither is Mark, neither is Kristen, neither is Steven. Nobody is saying, just because they're acting like they have better logical...
No, I don't think
suspects.
Tara has said much, though. Like, I don't think she's ever brought up a theory or like...
That doesn't make you any worse, though, Kristen.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like at this point in the game, you have to give something. Or else, why are you still there?
I guess. But
like,
she just told Kristen her idea.
Yes, and that's
she
true.
literally just went to Kristen and said, this is what I'm thinking and why.
Yeah. And
Kristen said, you're wrong. It's not Steven. Like, but you have to contribute better. Better contributions,
no,
please.
Kristen was kind of aggressive this episode all the way through to everyone.
I know, like, I understand the game is probably
that.
literally getting to her, and she's probably... Everyone is, again, like I said, everyone's starting to... The pressure is on now, and people are starting to get a little bit more, I don't know, they're losing their minds a little bit more. So
Yeah,
I'll give her grace for that. I was like, that was kind of, I don't know. I really liked Tara and Johnny's relationship in this episode. What do you think about them like obviously we've talked about them hiding their relationship. What do you think about them deciding this week to out of nowhere be like, actually we're best friends? Actually, we are married.
I think the timing was odd, but I also think that it really did save Johnny at the table.
You think?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
I think of the whole time, like the whole episode, people were on Johnny. Almost everyone had said his name except for the odd person that was saying Steven or Kristen saying Tara the whole time. But I don't know. Once again, I feel like their relationship, I think like people are so, it's funny hearing them talk about it and hearing even online people talk about it, just saying like, how do people not know that these two are so close?
yeah.
And then even hearing like the rest of the people in the house talking about it, like when they did reveal it, like they're just so suspicious about it. And it's so funny to me because once again, like if they were both traitors, they wouldn't have that relationship and they wouldn't be showing it. Mm-hmm. But I do understand the suspicion of them hiding it for so long and then all of a sudden on a random night being like, we're actually best friends.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I definitely
hugging, cuddling, holding hands. Like it literally went from 0 to 100.
It was so cute. I'm obsessed with them.
I know, but that's the thing is I feel like it really did save both of them at the round table that night.
It saved them, but I do agree that there was no point hiding it anymore. Like,
yeah,
because the thing is, people were already against them.
Yeah,
and so I think they said like, well, if they're already going to be against us, let's just be together.
Yeah,
which honestly, yeah, makes sense. We go. I guess we can go to the challenge or the mission, I should say. I was hoping that we'd have something. This is we've had this before, this type of challenge where the traitors have to answer and everyone else has to ask what the traitors guess what the traitors would think.
Yep. I usually really enjoy these challenges.
I usually enjoy them too. I think the reason why I didn't enjoy this one as much is because Rob and Eric decided to just not play the game.
Rob and Eric didn't decide anything. It was Rob.
Oh yeah, Rob told Eric
at that point, no matter what Eric thought, was just Rob was doing what he wanted.
Yeah. What do you think about the strategy to just say Tara this entire time?
I think for them it obviously worked out and it was smart, but I think like as a watcher it was annoying and as a faithful it would have been annoying too.
Yeah. So. Like for a viewer, it's so boring because I wanted to see what people thought.
I wanted to know actually what Rob and Eric thought about the faithfuls. Like I genuinely did. And once again, like opportunity to make money for their team.
Yeah.
But
also, I don't necessarily think that them answering truthfully to some degree would have given them away. Because if everybody was, like, for example, one of the questions I think was, who do you think is the most manipulative?
Yeah.
Literally everybody said Natalie. So if you would have put Natalie, that wouldn't have been like suspicious because everyone was thinking Natalie.
Yeah.
So you would have just gained money. But this is what I'm saying is like in this game, Rob can just be like, who cares about the money because I want to win, right? Like, whereas I feel like other seasons, they would have wanted to win the money.
Yep.
And they would have tried to maybe have strategy that still allowed them to make some money. So it was kind of boring in that sense. I was getting a lot of anxiety about them like crawling out of those boxes.
Especially at the beginning when you could see people like trying to listen and like hear like which boxes were opening.
I know. I want to know like, are those soundproof? Like,
they must be because that's way too risky.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was kind of disappointed by the challenge because once again, I think it would have given opportunity to see like actually what the traitors were thinking. But their strategy worked well for them. What did you think about the 4 people that they picked to put up for murder?
Well, I want to get to the question first about I guess I want to get to the part where they all agree to vote for Tara. And Johnny and Tara don't vote for Tara.
Yeah, that was
what did you
weird.
think about that?
I thought it was kind of weird, but Obviously, knowing that they're both faithfuls, I didn't think much about it. I think it made them look more suspicious, especially like how they responded, like everyone being like, didn't we just decide to vote for Tara? And Johnny was like, oh, I don't know, I just thought we were just voting for who we thought. Like, just his response made it really suspicious. And I also thought that, sorry, my phone's falling, there was one question where I think it was
who do you think the traitors, oh wait, who do the traitors think doesn't deserve a place in the final?
And Johnny voted for Tara.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did for that one.
I'm pretty sure everyone said Maura.
There was one that Johnny voted for Tara, and I literally took it, like, I was like, I am so shocked that he said that, especially after the game. He's like, I wanted to play this honestly. So I just thought it was weird. I didn't notice
that. I know. I saw that Eric voted Tara that one.
I think that was the one. It was either that one or it was the one who's the most I don't think it was the manipulative one. I really think it was who didn't deserve a place at the end, and Johnny voted for Tara.
I need to go back and watch because I don't think that would have happened.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure. I wish we could pause this and like.
Well, we are gonna go back and double check, roll the tapes, because I don't think he would say that.
No, I swear he did.
But anyway, Maura said herself, which was hilarious.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, like, that must suck if you're there and it's like, who do you think the traitors think doesn't deserve a place in the finals? And everyone says you. But just honestly fair.
But, I mean.
But anyway.
Maura did make the most
My
sense.
point about this is where the faithfuls really, again, annoyed me. Because Kristen goes, I'm trying to understand because I've never been in the game. You're probably going off of like barely anything. But she says, you know what? I think Tara is doing this as strategy. She's going to put her name down every single time to get so that you distract. Like, she thought that Tara putting her name down was a strategy. Like, why would the traitor draw more attention to themselves than needed ever? That is such a bad traitor strategy.
Yes, but I mean, I'm not trying to stick up for Kristen because I really wasn't happy with her this episode. I do think at that point, you're just so confused and crazy because you have no idea who it could be that you're literally thinking about all the possibilities. Because realistically, anything could happen. A traitor could have done something like that. Like, you really don't know.
I think
she's just at the point where she's so delusional and everyone's just so, like, it must be kind of crazy living in a house with people lying to you for, I guess.
But it's so funny too because Maura also says, so Johnny and Tara don't vote for Tara in that last question of like who would make the best traitor, right? Everyone's like, okay, we'll vote for Tara, or at least it seemed like that. And Tara obviously doesn't vote for herself because she's like, I'm not gonna just play the game and vote for myself. I don't believe that. And Johnny doesn't vote for Tara either because they're BFFs, right? And like Maura being like, they're the traitors, they're the only ones that didn't vote for. I'm like, why would traitors out themselves like that purposely? Like, and I think even Johnny says later in the episode, he's like, just because I'm bad at the game doesn't mean I'm a traitor. And I'm like, just because somebody does, like, why would the traitors do that? And I think that's where I understand you're grasping at straws, but I'm like, you also have to like take a step back and be like, would a traitor actually do that?
I'm telling you, they're all going crazy. They're all going crazy.
Because it just doesn't make any sense to like purposely out yourself.
No,
I'm a traitor. I'm gonna put my name for everything and make people be thinking about me more than they already are. Like, that makes no sense.
But then again, like, why would a traitor? You would never think that a traitor would put their name for everything. So I'd probably be that one person that's like, oh my god, Tara could be the traitor. Like, maybe she's just trying to throw us off.
I wouldn't be like that.
I was surprised that.
Also, I don't know.
Rob didn't. Actually, no, I'm not.
I also, Rob actually made a comment that this is why I think. Do I think Rob is a good traitor? Yes. Do I think there are moments that he says things and he slips up that in other seasons wouldn't be overlooked? Yes, because he made a comment today, or in this episode, or in the challenge, where he put Johnny down for who do you think the traitor, or who do the traitors think is the most useful to them?
Yeah.
He put Johnny, and they panned to him, and Alan asks him, why did you put Johnny? And he goes, I put Johnny because if Johnny isn't the traitor, then I think the traitors would keep him around for suspicion. And not that that's a good logic.
Yeah.
But you're now kind of exposing your thought process on keeping Johnny, which is actually your strategy. And also you're kind of saving Johnny a little bit in that moment, because you're now telling people maybe Johnny isn't suspicious, he's just the pawn, right? Like you're now giving other people a reason to think that maybe Johnny's just the pawn.
Yep, but he's confusing everyone.
Well, yeah.
Because once again, no one's going to be like, oh,
but
Rob
the
must
thing
be the
is,
traitor.
potentially in other seasons, there's just been some moments that he says things that I'm like,
Well,
I think if you were in a different season, someone would catch on to that. Like,
yeah,
I just think there are, sorry, faithfuls,
it's okay. They're probably not listening.
Yeah. Sorry, all of the celebrities listening to our podcast right now. 45 minutes in.
Wait, what were we just saying?
But yeah, basically,
it did pan to someone after he said that though, and I forget who it was, but they kind of looked at him like. So, once again, I think if anyone else said that, it would have been on someone's radar, but because it was Rob that said it, they're like,
Rob.
He's so smart. That is a brilliant thought. And it's working.
But yeah, anyway, going back to what you asked about the shortlist, what I think about the shortlist. I think it was brilliant. I think it was the perfect shortlist for them to pick.
Before they picked it, I immediately thought in my head, Rob should put his name down.
No.
See, wait. That is what I thought. I'm like, Rob hasn't had his name down once. It is kind of weird that he's still around in the game. He's such a smart guy. Why aren't people like, this is where they need to think, and this is why I'm so glad that Maura said something. But if Rob wasn't a traitor, the traitors would want to take Rob out because he is such a good game player.
Yeah.
So Rob's name not being on there to me seemed suspicious. But then when Rob said to Eric, it was funny because as soon as they met up, Eric's like stressed. Rob's like, I've got this.
He's like, don't worry, son. I will guide you.
Don't worry, little one. No, but then when he said, he's like, they're going to assume that a traitor's on this list.
Yeah.
So we're not going to put one of our names down. And then I was like, you know what? That kind of is a good point. So I don't know. I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah. You know what? Okay. So I was originally thinking that I do think it was a smart move not putting either of them in there, because I think it's a risk to put one of you in there and then anyone have the thought of, well, it has to be one of those four, because they would put someone in, right? Yeah. So I think putting yourself in that 4 would have been risky, because at any point someone can use that as evidence, right? So if, I don't know, let's say in the next episode, no one has anything to go off. They're like, well, why don't we look at the 4 people that were up for murder last night? Because probably at least one traitor was in there. And then there's some type of evidence on you, right? Yeah. So I do think it was smart to not put yourself in, assuming people would at least think that way. But that's a good point that you make about Rob never not being on the list and not really having any, like, he's never been up for murder. He's never been murdered, which he's a super strong player. And I was also thinking, and I actually think I saw someone talking about this, but Rob not being murdered should be a clue enough that he's a traitor, because he has the dagger. And 6 people,
I read this too,
know he has the dagger. And why would anyone keep Rob around if they know he has the dagger?
And that's what people were saying about the suspicion about Steven. If Steven was the traitor, why wouldn't he have killed Rob, knowing that Rob had the dagger?
Like, if anyone in that group, in theory, was a traitor, they would have murdered Rob by now, because why would a traitor keep around somebody, especially with such low numbers now, that has double votes at the round table? Like, that would be enough reason to murder somebody. Yeah. Someone who's smart, who's likable, who the house really trusts, who has a dagger, and he's just in the game. He's not a threat. Like, traitors don't see Rob as a threat at all. That, like that should be enough to be like, why is Rob still here?
He's the biggest threat there. Like, it is so obvious. And this is why, like, I'm sorry, Faithfuls, but, like, you, once again, you're blinded by Rob.
That's why I think, like, yes, I do think Rob is a good traitor. He's playing the game well. But I'm curious to see how he would do with people like, I don't know, like Boston Rob in the house. Like, people who are, like...
Even Dylan. I feel like Dylan would have caught on to this, like, weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is a... testament to like their ability to get out some really strong players at the beginning, because think about some of those people that went first that were really smart.
Yeah,
like there was some real... was Ian on this season or was that another season? Oh no, I think that was
Ian. Was he the gamer
from Big Brother?
Yeah.
Was that this season or am I mixing it up with season 1?
Was he the one that went home like the first night?
Yeah.
That was this season.
That was this season?
Yeah.
Yeah, so people like Ian, there's no way Rob would still be like, da da da, da. Like, people, those, or was it Rob, there was another Rob.
The other Rob,
C,
yeah.
I think. Like, those are people who got murdered early that it was smart to get rid of. Because those people wouldn't just be like, Rob. Like,
no. They would have picked up on all these things.
While we can say that, like, the Faithfuls are not the brightest right now, it was also intentional that these are the Faithfuls that are kept around. So
but, like,
it's a mix of like, yeah, the Faithfuls aren't catching on, but Rob picked these people to stay for that reason.
Yep.
Right?
So we have 2 more roundtable. Well, after tonight there's 2 more.
Yes.
Steven's gone. Okay, let's say they vote out Johnny next time, whatever. There's still that one more roundtable, which who else could be a traitor? Maybe that's the night that finally Rob gets some heat under him. You never know. I'm hoping, maybe.
I mean, I think so. I'm thinking at some point Rob has to have some suspicion, because if we're just, I hate to do this whole like there has to be boys and girls in the turret, but like if you're going off of nothing, you probably logically think, okay, like there has to be a mix of people in the turret. Like so far we've caught 2 female traitors.
3.
Like,
Donna.
3 female traitors. So like just out of odds, if they were playing like a game, there probably is at least 1 male traitor. But so yeah, there has to be heat on him at some point, because we're kind of low on males left in the castle right now.
Well, yeah, Steven's gone. Johnny.
Well, let's get to the round table. We haven't talked about anything about the round table yet.
That's true.
So,
is there anything?
So
right after the challenge though, that's when everyone was starting to freak out about how close Johnny and Tara were, and I just thought that was so funny that people are like, oh my gosh, they must be traitors, look how close they are. Oh my god, did you see them come in? They were holding hands.
I know. It's like they literally were like
around each other.
Guys, they're holding hands.
I know, like freaking
oh my gosh,
out.
They're walking next to each other. It's them.
Yeah.
They're standing next to each other.
Literally. And I think it was really nice. Right before the round table, we saw that Johnny and Tara were like, if we're gonna go down, we're gonna go down together.
I loved that moment.
Yeah,
they're
me
like,
too.
should we talk as a we?
Yeah, they're like, are we best friends again?
And I honestly just feel robbed that we didn't get to see their relationship throughout the whole...
That's why I'm glad they're still around for next week. But no, I loved seeing that before the round table. And going into the round table, like, obviously Tara started off the conversation.
Yeah, Tara starts the conversation, which I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yes, queen.
Yeah. I actually really like her.
I do too. And I wish we got to see more about her, more about Johnny, more about like the two of them.
But she's so cute because she starts saying, I promise me and Johnny are not traitors. And then Maura, who literally, like, she's so funny. She's always, her only strategy in this game is like catching slip up of words.
Yeah.
She's always like, what do you mean how can you promise that Johnny isn't a traitor? You said that you promised Johnny isn't a traitor. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
okay, but it is kind of true though. Like, you obviously
you can't promise.
You can't guarantee anything.
Yeah.
In this game, because even if they are best friends, like, it's against the rules for them to talk about like what they actually are. Like, if one of them told the other they were a traitor, like that's not allowed.
Yeah.
But it's funny how they went in and they're like, you know what, we're in this together. We're a we now.
I know. They were like, let's finish each other's sentences. But yeah, so like Tara starts being like, I can promise you that me and Johnny aren't traitors. And yeah, Maura's like, what do you mean you can promise? Blah blah blah. My biggest pet peeve is they have this assumption that Johnny's a traitor. And I hate the argument when someone says, we suspect you as a traitor, and the person defends themselves being like, I'm a faithful.
Yeah.
I'm not a traitor. And the person then will go, prove to me you're a faithful then. Tell me why you're a faithful. And I'm like, how on earth are you supposed to come up with concrete evidence that you're a faithful? Like,
I know.
What is there to say that makes you more faithful than somebody else? Like, it's the argument of prove to me you're faithful then. If you're faithful, prove to me. And I'm like, so Mark asked Johnny, he's like, prove to me you're faithful. And I'm like, what are you supposed to say in that moment? Like, how are you supposed to prove you're a faithful?
No, I don't know. And I mean, they don't know either, because none of the faithfuls are good at proving that they're a faithful, which I get, it's hard to do. But I just feel like, and I hate to compare it to past seasons because I've said this before, but I just think that people were so much better in past seasons at like fighting for themselves to stay in the game.
Yeah, the roundtables are boring.
Whereas like the all eyes went on Steven, and I don't even think Steven said like 3 words to save himself. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, Natalie went after Steven because Natalie doesn't think Johnny is a traitor.
Yeah.
But
before that, Tara and Johnny did also bring up Steven's name. And that kind of stressed me out because I'm like, okay, I know other people are talking about Steven, but obviously if they're so hot on Steven and Steven's not a traitor, is that gonna go back onto them?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess you have to pick somebody.
Yeah.
But their I guess I should say their evidence that Steven is a traitor is this is hilarious actually, because their evidence is that they walked in, it was Dorinda and Johnny walked into Candace and Steven sitting alone in a room talking.
Yep.
And they said, we've never seen you talk to Candace one-on-one. This is right after like the heat was all on Candace, and we see you talking one-on-one to Candace. So that must mean that Candace was trying to warn you and you guys are traitors. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, again, not much to go off here. But Rob, literally, why did Steven not say, oh, well, in that case, I was talking to Candace and Rob comes in and says, can I talk to Candace alone, please? And asks me to leave. Like, why did Steven not say, well, if that's your evidence for me being a traitor, here's my evidence for someone else being a traitor?
Yeah, Steven.
Like, Steven, okay, I
hate to say it, but Steven got into really bad situations unintentionally, because that mixed with them Natalie bringing up that Lisa gave Steven her rocks in that episode.
Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate.
That's 2 traitors, though, that had this
fair
experience with Steven, which, yes, honestly, if I heard that too, I'd probably be like, you know what? This is better evidence against him than against Johnny.
It's funny that that's enough evidence for people to suspect Steven.
Yeah.
But Candace voting for Rob's not even close to enough evidence for potentially him being a traitor.
No.
Like, but someone talking one-on-one, that's 100% a traitor move. But yeah, Steven, like, I had so much faith in Steven going into this season. I was like, oh my gosh, Steven from One Tree Hill, nostalgia. I'm so excited to like see him. He's been such a disappointment in this show. He's very boring.
He was.
He seems nice. He's fun. His only argument when people start coming at him is, I see your argument, but it's weak.
He wasn't good at defending himself. And I mean, I'm not saying everyone else is better than him, but he had so many opportunities that, yeah, if he brought up the conversation between Rob and Candace,
yeah,
that could have, even if it didn't save him, that would have at least turned the direction to maybe people thinking about Rob.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But he doesn't think Rob's a traitor.
No, so he probably didn't even acknowledge that as something to think about.
He was like, "Oh, our King Rob is coming in to talk to our traitor suspect and get the evidence." Like
Literally.
they're like
No, literally.
I also saw something like, I mean, obviously not to get too into like production and stuff, but like I kind of forget that this is, I mean, it is a reality TV show, and you kind of forget that production is involved in this show. And I'm like, it's so interesting that Steven and Candace were having this conversation, and all of a sudden Rob just walks in, and I'm like, probably it was just a producer being like, "Rob, they're talking about you. Go in there." Like, but
no, I don't want to believe that I know this show.
even production is like swooned by Rob. They're just like, oh, Rob,
do whatever you want. This is your show. Your show.
But okay, so
okay. Do you have anything else to say about?
Well, the roundtable votes.
Okay, before that though, Natalie
calls
out.
Okay, yes, the dagger.
Which this made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Okay, I thought about this a lot, and I feel like I have a reason.
Because,
I figured it out.
Natalie calls out the fact that Rob has the daggers. Or the dagger for the second vote.
Alan goes, "Does anyone want to use a dagger? Or the dagger, if you possess the dagger, do you want to use it?" And obviously Rob's not using the dagger, but Natalie goes, she whispers to Rob or whatever.
It wasn't a whisper. I'm sure everyone at the table
well,
heard
she quietly goes, "Please, at least tell them that you have it." And at first I was kind of thrown off by this, because I was like, why does that matter right now? Like, why is she pushing so hard for Rob to tell everyone that he has the dagger if he's not going to use it?
Yeah.
And I went after the show being like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. But I figured it out.
Okay.
So Natalie's a gamer.
Yep.
And her logic was, she is the only person in the shortlist that knows who has the dagger, or who could have the dagger. So her thought process is, if she's going up for murder tonight and the traitors need a reason to vote someone out, and then they don't know who has it, then they'll go, well, let's vote Natalie out because she might have it. So she wanted everyone to know, or she wanted the traitors, which is hilarious, to know who has the dagger, so that it's not a reason for her to get eliminated or for her to get murdered, if that makes sense. But it's just funny because Rob is the traitor. But like, she believes that like maybe Johnny or Tara is a traitor, right? And so if they're the ones doing the murdering tonight, she doesn't want any extra ammo on her, right? Because like we said before, if like Rob staying around for 3 weeks, even though half the house knows he has a dagger, is a red flag for him being a traitor.
That's the thing, is now everybody knows he has the dagger. So right. What, Rob's gonna come into breakfast next week?
Well, the thing is,
all nonchalant, and like, what, people are people even gonna think about the fact, like, oh my god, he has the dagger and he's still here?
Well, the thing is, they've had that pack 6 or whoever who knew he had the dagger.
Yep.
So if Rob's not getting murdered, everyone in that group is assuming that no one is a traitor in that group, because if a traitor knows about the dagger, they would murder that person. And so that's probably why these people have such blind faith in Rob, like, who were in that group, like Natalie, Eric, obviously now knows he's a traitor, but had blind faith for him. Mark, Steven, all these people were like, there's no way Rob is a traitor because he has the dagger and he's not getting murdered, meaning none of us in this group logically would be a traitor, because why would Rob still be around, right?
Yeah.
And so now that everybody knows that he has the dagger, obviously he can't be murdered tonight because he's not on the short list, but if the week after that,
good point, Kate.
I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense, because if the week after that he won't have the dagger anyway, but that's probably why that's probably why they're so like, he's not a traitor, because he would be murdered by now if any of us were. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It
does make sense.
But like, it's funny that no one's thinking, wow, Rob has the dagger and he's still here. No one's even questioned it. But I guess it's because they just blindly think all 6 of them for sure were faithfuls.
No, that's a good point. And you're right, I think. I totally forgot about the short list, that only those 4 people could get murdered. So obviously that won't put any more heat on Rob, and then he'll have to use the dagger next episode.
Yeah, he has to use it so it's not like there'd be ammo for him the next murder, right? Because like he doesn't have any extra.
He's just.
So I guess him saying he has it this episode is fine because he can't get murdered tonight anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter.
So that's probably why Natalie was like, just say it, because it takes heat off of me, and there's no real like.
I don't even think people were suspecting Natalie though.
But she doesn't know that.
I guess that's true.
Like, but she doesn't, like, let's say she doesn't know who the traitors are. She goes up for murder.
Oh, good point. It
she
wasn't just for the table. It
wasn't for the table.
Right,
it was
right.
for the murder.
Yeah.
It was like, she didn't want the traitors to go up to the turret and be like, okay, so we have to choose between these four. And Natalie could have the dagger, so maybe we get rid of her, right? She didn't want.
Okay. See, it's all making sense.
Yeah,
now.
she didn't want that extra like ammo to be like,
yeah,
she's a risk. Let's get rid of her.
And that's fair. She would have been.
So that makes sense that she said that.
Okay.
And it doesn't really harm Rob now because after next week he won't have it anyway.
Yep.
So there's no extra like danger to him.
Damn.
Yeah. But
look at you.
Well, I was thinking really hard because I was like, why did she say that? I was so thrown off for a minute.
I was too. I was so confused, and I woke up this morning still confused about it. So,
but
no,
anyway,
that makes
so
a heck
he
of a lot more
doesn't use
sense.
the dagger, obviously.
Well, he wouldn't have really needed to, but he has to use it next time.
But it's
right?
also kind of funny. Like another. Sorry, I know we're talking about this for so long, but like. You're not thinking. I know he hasn't really had to use the dagger, but if you were a faithful and you were so unsure on who the traitors were, I feel like you probably would have used the dagger by now.
But like on who?
On anyone that you were like really highly suspect of, right? Because like if you're a faithful and like you are genuinely scared for your life, you don't know who a traitor is, you might get murdered any night, like him confidently holding on to this dagger, just assuming he's not gonna get murdered. What? Like a normal faithful would be like, I could get murdered any night, like but I should probably use
not
this.
Thinking that because nobody has said his name once. He even said, he's like, at the beginning he's like, I'm gonna wait to use this to like until my name's up
but
there.
the thing is, he has that privilege because he is a traitor. That's what I'm saying, is he is a traitor, so he's allowed to think, I can hold on to this dagger as long as possible because I have no risk of getting murdered for this extra vote. So I can hold on to it until I need it at the round table for myself. But if you're a faithful, like let's say you're truly a faithful, and you have 4 weeks to use the dagger, and you're truly a faithful, you would be scared of having this extra power for so long.
To get killed by the traitor, right?
To get killed by the traitor for having this, holding on to this ammo is kind of dangerous as a faithful because it's giving the traitors a reason to murder you.
That's so true.
Also, if you're really a faithful, you don't know who the traitors are. So when you might think that using your vote on this person is valuable because you think they're the traitor, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, the week that Lisa went home, like if you were so on board that it was Lisa and you're actually scared for your life, you're like, let's just use the dagger to get her out because we really think she's a traitor, or Candace even, right? So the fact that no one's picking up on the fact that Rob is just so nonchalantly holding on to this dagger confidently that he's not going to get murdered and doesn't need to use it for it doesn't, like, no one's thinking that.
No, I didn't see it as being a target on his back this whole time.
I didn't really either until this episode, and I was like, wait, why is nobody thinking that is odd behavior?
Yep. And this just stems back to, if Rob is such a good game player like he is, why hasn't he been sent home yet?
That's why I think, like, yes, he's a good game player, but him holding on to the dagger that long, I don't know if it would have worked in every other season.
Yeah.
It's working now, so obviously it's good, but I think there would have been people who picked up on that, potentially.
Do you think there's anyone still in the game that you think would pick up and say Rob's name? Anyone that's left right now?
Who do we have left?
Mark, Kristen, Natalie, Johnny, Tara.
I think Johnny potentially, because he has heat on him. He has to pick another suspect.
Yeah.
So I think Johnny has potential to suspect Rob because he knows it's not Tara. He knows it's not himself. Now he knows it's not Steven. The only other males, I think Eric, unfortunately, because, Eric, this whole round table is looking like there's
gonna
no
throw
there's no
up.
color in his face.
Yeah.
He's so funny. I love Eric. He's doing so awful at being a traitor right now. But in his defense, like, I think coming into being a traitor is way more difficult than starting as a traitor.
100%.
Because if you're starting as a traitor, you are kind of creating your own persona of what people think you are from the beginning. So it's like, it might not be odd behavior that you're quiet or reserved or whatever, because it's the act you've now put on.
Yeah.
But Eric's just been his full self this whole time, and then has to now be like, actually, I know who the traitor is.
Yep.
It's me. And now I have to pretend to care about these conversations that I used to care about, but now I don't know what to say because I actually know who the traitors are. Like, I give anyone that's coming in as a traitor grace, because that would be really hard.
I agree. And I do think Eric was probably the worst person that could have been brought on in that sense. I think Mark maybe would have done a good job at being able to hide it.
Yeah.
I think
I wish
Johnny, I don't know. I could see Johnny even being a little better, but Eric, I just knew right off the bat that it was not going to end well for him. Yeah. And I feel bad because he's a good guy.
I mean, I don't feel that bad, because if he didn't get recruited as a traitor, I don't think he would have been murdered, because I think Rob would have like kept him as his little like trusty buddy anyway, as a faithful.
You think so?
Yeah. There's no Rob, look at the way Eric acts around Rob. Eric is like wrapped around Rob's finger. He's like,
that's
Dad.
true.
He's like,
but
tell me what to do.
I feel like Rob has a good alliance with Mark and Kristen.
Yeah, but I think, like, what I'm saying is,
And
I don't
Natalie.
think
Natalie.
I don't think Rob would have murdered Eric. I think he would have taken Eric to the final.
Yeah.
And then been like, haha, I'm the traitor.
Well, yeah, true. Eric would have been the one.
I don't feel that bad, because if Eric wasn't a traitor now, he would have lost to Rob anyway. So he's going to lose no matter what. You may as well go out being a traitor. But
imagine, I could see, because how many people are usually at the end? Like 4?
So the last episode, there'll be, next week they banish one more person. And then the week after that, they do another roundtable banishment. And then they end up with 4 people at like the bonfire. And then they get to decide after that if they want to keep banishing. So you go into that final bonfire with 4 people, and then you can go down to 2 people. So you can banish twice.
So what I can see happening is Rob, Natalie, Mark, and one other person gets there, and they all trust. They're all gonna trust that Rob is. They're all gonna trust that all of them are faithfuls, and then Rob's gonna end up completely destroying them.
I think,
because that's a tight alliance. I don't think Natalie. I
think Natalie might be murdered tonight.
I don't think so.
So here's why I think so. So right now, obviously Steven gets banished at the table, and he's so funny. He's like, "You guys blew it." I'm like, honestly, iconic. Like, you guys suck. Bye. But anyway, he gets murdered or banished, and then Eric and actually no. Before we get to the turret, though, Kristen starts hounding Eric. Yep. Being like, "Why didn't you say anything? You didn't say anything."
Let's keep in mind too that Rob also didn't say a word at this table. Rob didn't say anything unless they just didn't like show him talking, which is a high possibility.
It's possible.
But Moral also really didn't say much, but she did speak up a little bit. But all I'm saying is neither did Rob, but of course Eric gets heat on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably because Eric probably from what we saw all day, he kind of just was like shivering in his boots. So like it might have been like maybe she sensed the slight shift and was taking it as like, oh, actually you're always quiet. But anyway, Kristen starts hounding Eric, and I'm like, oh, poor Eric, first day as a traitor, already getting sniffed out. Yeah. But then it's super interesting. Kristen tells Rob. So it's Kristen, Mark, and Rob, and Kristen's like, if I'm murdered tonight, guys, it's Eric. And Rob's probably sitting there like, not again. Like literally, like but honestly, I think he was probably kind of happy about it.
Happy about this.
Because if he could take Eric to the final, I think he would have if he could. Like I for some reason I just don't think he would have turned on Eric as fast as he did Lisa and Candace. Yeah. But he's also clearly someone who's like, I'm not saving anyone but myself, which is which is fair. Like, in this moment, especially at this end of the game, like, you can't save Eric. But he's probably thinking, okay, this is actually great, because what's going to happen is he's probably just sitting there, like, on cloud nine. There's, like, 3 people that are suspects before him right now, and there's 2 episodes left.
Yep.
And one of them being an actual traitor.
Yep.
Like, it's probably music to his ears, being like,
well,
poor Eric, but, like, this literally seals my fate.
Well, and the fact that he didn't even have to bring this up.
He didn't have to bring it up.
He didn't have to bring it up. All he has to do is kind of go along with it casually, like, not be too into it, but you know what? Like, kind of like he did with Lisa and Candace. Like, he did kind of go a little harder with them, but he started off by kind of just being like, you know what? I've actually seen this happen.
So I was curious to see, because I wanted to, like, obviously we've seen Rob be pretty cutthroat this whole season, and so I was curious to see when they went up to the turret if he would tell Eric about what Kristen said, because he had the perfect opportunity to do what he did to Candace and be like, maybe if, like, because obviously Eric knows Kristen's onto him from that conversation, so he could have gone up to the turret and been like, I think Kristen's on to me, maybe we should get rid of her. And Rob could have been like, yeah, maybe we should do that. And that could have been a good move for him, because then there would have been for sure suspicion on Eric, like more concrete evidence. Eric getting banished, saying he's a traitor, and then they have 4 traitors out.
And one's a guy.
Yep. Like, that would... So I don't think they're going to get rid of Kristen, because Rob he didn't say everything, but he did say, Kristen is onto you. It could put suspicion. He didn't say... He didn't say...
He left out some details.
He did leave out some details, but at least he did at least say, Kristen was saying your name a bit, so that could be bad for you. But he didn't say, Kristen said, if you're murdered, go for Eric.
But I do think for Rob's game, obviously, Kristen going home is the smartest.
I don't think they'll get rid of Kristen, though.
I don't think they would get... Well, who is it? Kristen, Natalie, Tara, or Johnny?
Okay, so it's Johnny, Tara, yeah, those 4. They're not going to get rid of Johnny. Makes no sense when he's the prime suspect right now.
No.
They're not going to get rid of Tara.
I don't think he would get rid of Natalie, though.
I think they'd get rid of Natalie, because, yes, Natalie trusts Rob, but she is kind of... She is loud. She is someone who switches her opinion all the time. Like, literally, she voted for Tara last week out of just, like, bitterness of Tara saying her name. They were talking about how she's pretty dangerous and she does need to go soon. So I think getting rid of Natalie is what they'll do, because if they get rid of Tara or Johnny, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the only thing is I could see them maybe getting rid of Tara to put more suspicion on Johnny, because they might be like, oh, he's just tried to save himself, right? He's the traitor. He's trying to... So I think the only 2 people they would get rid of is Natalie or Tara. I don't think they'll get rid of Kristen, and I don't think they'll get rid of Johnny.
I think they'll get rid of Kristen.
Why would they do that?
Because I think Rob is going to do what he does best, and he's going to, like we saw, he's going to deliver half the information. Eric's going to be so scared that he's going to be like, let's just get rid of her. Because I think Rob still needs a strong alliance at the end with him. And I think Natalie is one person that wouldn't turn on him. I think Kristen would. I think Tara would. And I think John would.
But he has so many people left. He has
But he doesn't.
Maura.
He only has Maura and Mark.
No, Maura, Mark, Kristen, Natalie. Those 4 trust him blindly.
I don't think Kristen does. I think Kristen's the type that would change her mind. I don't think Natalie is.
I don't know. I think Natalie would change her mind.
I don't know. I think Natalie
Think about all the conversations we saw in this episode. It was always Rob, Mark, and Kristen. They were like buddy. Like, they were always sharing their opinions together. I think Kristen and Mark are one brain. Unfortunately, I love you, Mark. And, like, I don't think they even voted together this episode. They both voted for Tara.
True. So what happens? He keeps Kristen and just lets Kristen do her thing.
Well, because Kristen's gonna go... Kristen, if he keeps Kristen's going after Eric anyway.
I was gonna say, let Kristen do her thing. Let her persuade.
Kristen believes that Johnny, Tara, and Eric are traitors. So why... I don't think it's beneficial to get rid of Kristen when he has someone who's literally so sure of these 3 other people and trusts him, right? Like, I don't think it makes sense. Natalie literally has no idea what's going on. Like, yeah, sure, she'll do whatever, like, Rob says, but, like, she's not, like, actively going after anybody anymore. She doesn't think that Johnny's a traitor. Like, she voted for Steven. So I think getting rid of Natalie would be fine because he still has people who trust him a lot.
You're right.
But, yeah. I'm just happy that, honestly, Johnny made it through this episode. I was like, I loved him in this episode. He saved the episode for me in terms of faithfuls. I was like, he's the only faithful that I'm like, I want you to stay. So I'm happy he made it through the round table. And yeah,
I don't know now.
I mean, I just feel like
you're completely changing my idea of what I think is going to happen.
There's just, Rob's obviously winning. Eric's gonna go out soon. They're gonna think everyone's gonna be like, oh my gosh, we got our last traitor out. King Rob got our traitor out. Just kidding, no.
Well, that's what I wonder. I wonder if Rob imagine Rob uses both his votes to get Eric out.
I have a feeling it's gonna be Rob, Tara, Mark, and Maura in like the final 4. And they're all gonna be like, we're faithfuls. And he's gonna burn all 3 of them.
Yep. If it's not Tara, it'll be Natalie there. I'm still convinced.
No, Tara's not going to be there. Tara and Johnny are going to go before the end.
Said Tara.
No, I said Kristen, Mark, Maura.
Oh, Maura.
And Rob at the end.
Yep. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. Mark my words.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Because they all trust Rob with their life. Rob will just sit up there proving he's a faithful. And then they're going to be shocked.
Yeah, it's going to be so iconic. I can't wait.
Aw.
I just want the finale. Like, I wish we could just skip next week. I'm like, okay, let's just get to the finale. I want to see their faces.
I know. Or, like, I just need some more excitement next week. Like, I don't want it to be so obvious that Eric's going and so obvious. Like, I don't know. I
just want to see before the end Rob have to, like, fight back. I want him to, like, fight back a little bit. I want someone to be, like, have an epiphany and be like, it's Rob.
That's the thing. I want to see some heat with Rob.
I'm okay with him winning, like, but I just want to see
at least defend yourself in some. I just need to see something. Like, there's no way this traitor could get to the very end without any ounce of suspicion on him.
I mean, it's probably gonna happen.
I know. I know. But still, I just need to see him fight. I just want to see, like, what he would do, what he'd be like. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I need him to prove himself a little more to me.
Yeah, I want, like, the only people I could see going after him is, like, but no one's heated. Like, there's no one left that's gonna cause a heated round table.
There's nobody left that would turn on Rob. I don't think anyone, like, has the guts to, like, speak up and be like, it's Rob.
I guess we'll see.
Like, no one.
But, yeah, I don't know. I guess
that's it.
Yeah. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. And if you don't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
It helps us a lot.
Also, if you are still here, this is our 1-year anniversary of our channel. We started a year ago.
Is it?
Last February. About February of last year.
Rough.
So if you're new, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you've been here since the beginning, we love you. Thank you for your support.
Yes.
And we're so excited for what's
and make sure
come.
Yeah, we're coming out next week. We're going to be also releasing a Love is Blind episode, so we are recapping Love is Blind.
Yeah,
it might not be like super in depth.
no but tell us if you are still here what you think about that. If you do want to hear about that, because you know the season's honestly not that great, so I don't know if there's gonna be much to talk about.
But anyway, thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.